Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to your favorite math show. Today we're going to talk about negative exponents and also zero exponents. So, more review from last year. Let's read what this says. It says, any non-zero number to the zero power is 1. So what that means, if you look down here, is this example right here. So 5 to the 0 is 1. Okay, and the reason, I'm going to show you why. Because if we think about it, 5 to the third power is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. I'm going to run out of room here. 5 to the second power is 5 times 5, which is 25. 5 to the first power is just 5. Okay. So then 5 to the 0, a lot of you want to say it's 0 because there's no 5s. But if you look at your pattern here, to get from 125 to 25, you have to divide by 5. Whoa, that's really big. That's smaller. Okay, and then to get from 25 to 5, you have to divide by 5. So if we continue the pattern and keep dividing by 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1. Okay, and then I go down here. If we go down even further, 5 to the negative 1, we're going to continue dividing by 5. So 1 divided by 5 is just 1 over 5, or 1/5. Okay, so that's kind of the logic behind negative exponents as well as zero exponents. Okay, so I'll go over this again. Any non-zero number to the 0 power is 1. So anything to the 0 power is always going to be 1. Whether it's 5 to the 0, or 2 to the 0, or 1 to the 0, it's always 1. Any non-zero number to the negative power is the multiplicative inverse, which is just the reciprocal of its nth power. Okay, so what that means is if we have 7 to the negative 3, that just means 1 over 7 times itself. So 1/7 to the third, basically, or 1 over 7 to the third. So we just take it from the top of the exponent like this, or top of the fraction, to the bottom like that. And then it becomes positive. Okay, the same thing works for variables like this. So we start with x to the negative n over 1. To make that exponent positive, we move it down. So it becomes 1 over x to the nth power, like so. All right, onward. Okay, so some examples. 6 to the negative 3. Well, we can think of this as a fraction by putting it over 1. And then to fix this negative exponent right here, we are just going to simply move the exponent and the base, which is 6, to the bottom of the fraction. So it becomes 6 to the positive 3 on the bottom, but then there's nothing left on top, so we have to leave a 1. So 1 over 6 to the third, which is the same as 1 over 6 times 6 times 6. Spooky. Which I think is 1 over 216. Okay, and this is using a positive exponent, so that's how you know you want to make it positive. Okay, then a to the negative 5 is just going to be 1 over a to the positive 5. So again, you just put it on the bottom of the fraction. Okay. All right, got it. Now you're going to try these for yourself, and then come back and we'll talk about them. Okay, so you can go ahead and pause this in 3, 2, 1, pause. Welcome back. Hopefully you got these as your answers. Okay, so the first one I got 1 over 7 squared, which if you change to 1 over 49 is fine. The rest of these, b to the negative 4th becomes 1 over b to the 4th. Same with d down here, m to the negative 3 becomes 1 over m to the positive 3. So they all become fractions except for c right here because it's to the 0 power. And so that's always going to be 1. Okay, even if it was like 7 to the 0, that also equals 1. Or 100 to the 0 is still 1. So anything to the 0 is 1. Okay. All right. So this one it says, so it wants us to do it backwards basically. Write each fraction as an expression using a negative exponent other than negative 1. So now it gives us the positive exponent and it wants us to change it to a negative exponent. Well, you notice this is on the bottom now. So if I want to make it negative, I just move it to the top. So my base is going to be 5, stays the same. But now your exponent changes to a negative, so negative 2. This one it says using an exponent other than -1. So because this one doesn't have an exponent down here, we need to fix it and make it an exponent. So if you recognize 36 is a perfect square, that means 6 times 6 is 36. We can write that as 1 over 6 squared, which then we can move to the top and say it is 6 to the -2. So it has a negative exponent other than -1, because it's not -2. So don't write 36 to the -1, okay, because of what it says up here. So that's what we should get for those. All right, next. Okay, you're going to try these ones. F and H you're going to have to change into an exponent form, because right now they don't have an exponents. Okay, so go ahead and try to write these as negative exponents, and we'll come back in a couple minutes. Okay, pause this in 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, so the first one I got 8 to the -3, because we just moved to the top. Same with G down here, move the C to the top and the C to the -5. These are the ones you had to switch up a little bit. So 4, you can switch into 2 times 2, or 2 squared, and then it becomes 2 to the -2, because we're going to move to the top. 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 to the 3rd. And then we move to the top, and it becomes 3 to the -3. Okay, and also look at this like stop and reflect thing right here. It says explain the difference between the expressions -4 squared and 4 to the -2. So if you think of -4 squared, that's the same as -4 times -4, which is positive 16. And then 4 to the -2, that means we're going to make it a fraction, and that's going to become 1 over 4 squared, which is 1 over 16. Okay, so they're actually reciprocals of each other, but they are not the same. So don't say that 4 to the -2 is -16. Okie dokie. Couple more slides. Okay, one human hair is about 0.001 inch in diameter, right as a decimal power of 10. Okay, so this is like scientific notation. I haven't done this for a minute. So I'm going to start with 0.001. I want to write that as a power of 10. So with powers of 10, we can just move our decimal back 1, 2, 3 spots. Okay, so because I moved my decimal 3 spots to the right, that's going to become 10 to the 3rd, except this is a really small number, so it should be a negative. 10 to the -3rd. You can also think of this as, this decimal as 1/1000th, or 1 over 1000, which is the same as 1 over 10 to the 3rd, which again is 10 to the -3rd. Okay, so you can either write it as a fraction first, then change it, or you can think of just moving your decimals. However you want to do it. Alrighty. Okay, these ones, you can do this a couple ways. We can change each of them separately, like this. Well, the 5 to the 3rd is going to stay the same. And then 5 to the -5, we can write as 1 over 5 to the 5, like so. And then we can cancel. So 5 to the 3rd is really 5 times 5 times 5 over 5 to the 5th, which is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, and then 3 of those will cancel. So we're left with 1 over 5 times 5, or 1 over 5 squared. Okay, or we can use the subtraction property when you divide exponents. If you're dividing powers, you just subtract their exponents. So for example, this one, this is going to be the same as w to the -1 minus -4. So we can do that, which becomes w to the -1 plus 4, which is w to the 3rd. Or what we could do, let's do this a different way. So we could change them to positive exponents first by moving this one up and this one down. So that becomes w to the +4 on top over w to the +1 on the bottom. And then we subtract 4 w's on top, 1 on the bottom. That means 1 cancels. And that becomes w to the 3rd. So either way, we get the same thing. Okay. All right, last one. You are going to try these yourself, see if you can simplify them. Try to leave a positive exponent, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, pause this in 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, so with this one, I should do this a different color. Okay, this one, I moved it to the bottom because it's negative, and then it became 3 squared over 3 to the 8th, which simplifies to 1 over 3 to the 6th. This one I just canceled out the 2 and the 4, and that left 2 over on the bottom, so it becomes 1 over 11 squared. On this one, I actually just added these, since it's multiplication, so 9 plus negative 4 just becomes positive 5, so into the 5th. And on this one, I switched them to make them positive exponents, so b to the 7th over b to the 4th, which simplifies to be b to the 3rd, because 4 cancel, so there's 3 left. Okay, that is negative exponents and 0 exponents. Hope you guys like my video. Make sure you like and subscribe, all the fun stuff. Share it with your friends. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you take the quiz and make good choices. Okay, thanks, bye.